Hey jerks, She Wench here. I want to do a video about how to make your first move. Typically, at least at my level, I see most people, they like to kind of sit back and wait for the opponent to make the first move, and I'm kind of in the same boat. I like to wait and counter and then try to um, see what they play first. That way, one, you can see their cards, and a lot of times you can guess what their deck is going to be. I would say most times if they drop skeletons in the back, first move, it's going to be either a hog deck or an expo deck. So right there, you can tell a lot just by seeing that. But also, I like to try to again counter whatever they play. If they play a tank in the back, then you can play. If you have a P.E.K.K.A, you can play a P.E.K.K.A in the back, and then they'll meet at the bridge, and that's well ideal. But typically, I don't like to make the first move, or I don't like to do a heavy first move because if you try to overcommit, then you're in for a bad time. If you drop E-Barb Rage, again, that's 8 Elixir, easily countered by a 3 Elixir Skarmy, and you're down a lot. Or if you do I don't know, an RG Musketeer, again, 10 Elixir, easily countered by an Inferno Tower, again, in for a bad time after that. So I kind of like to start slow, at least until you know you have an Elixir lead, or B, you at least know what their cards are. It's easier to try to predict what they're going to do and how to counter that better. So I always tell people don't play heavy cards in the back too. If you have a Golem deck, do not play Golem first card in the back because you set yourself up for an easy counter. They'll easily be able to push the opposite lane, and you always want to push the opposite lane of a heavy tank because if you push the same lane, then they can defend and then go offense and have that Golem support. You want them to have their support cards in the other lane, so that way you have two towers attacking instead of just one. So always push opposite lane if they do it, and you should never do it the first move. And even a giant I would consider kind of a heavy card. I don't like to play giant in the back first move. The reason why is because if they push the same lane, then you want something that can attack. So if you have a musketeer or archers is a better one, you can split archers in the back. That's usually better. Furnace Princess or split goblins in the back. Those are always safer. That way, if they do a miner in one lane, then again you're defending both lanes if you split. So it's always a safe bet to kind of do that if you want to make the first move. When I do start, I always assume that the opponent is going to drop a hog first because that's like the fastest card. That's going to be the hardest card to counter. So I always kind of start there. Um, so I always get my cards ready in anticipation of them dropping a hog. In this deck, I have my cannon. I'll have my finger on the cannon. If they drop a hog, I'll be easily ready to place it. Or if I only have goblins, I can drop my goblins or goblin gang or Skarmy. The thing about it, if they drop a hog and you counter with Skarmy, that's an easy counter with Zap. It's quick, and you should most of the time assume they're going to do it. So I always tell people to, um, if you defend with Skarmy, get ready to defend with something else because you don't know what they have, and if they do have something, you're going to be able to. Oops, you're going to be able to defend quickly if you do something else. So other than that, that's it for the defense, and I'll go into some other strategies later after I text my wife back.